capitalism runs on the comparison trap, the competition trap, that I need to continuously be in competition with others around me. I'm not focusing on myself, I'm focusing on others. I'm not focusing on my happiness and my joy. I'm focusing on being competition with others. That's what capitalism, that's all the shadows of capitalism, right? As I said, everything has a shadow and has a light side of it, okay? Now, the trap, constant competition conditions people to measure themselves compared to other people, right? So you always want to be doing better than the next person, not considering, are you happy? Are you content? Are you enjoying life? You're too busy competing for you to enjoy life and your own experience. Okay. Then I said about consumer illusion, which is the marketing trap, right? Every time now I go on social media, now businesses are even financing their adverts to go through for longer. You can't even switch off and go to your content. You've got to listen to the video because they want to program you and convince you that you need this new app. You need this new iPhone. You need this new product. Okay? Your free will is being infiltrated. They're trying to take your free will away from you. You need to wake up, right? So then the other one they speak about is the fear of lack is another shadow side of capitalism. Capitalism requires hoarding, as I said, accumulating and overproduction. Have you heard of car graveyards and ship graveyards and even all sorts of graveyards where they keep these things that they overproduce and they cannot sell them because at the end of the day, they cannot drop the price. If they drop the price, they're going to affect their bottom line. It's going to affect the system. They cannot drop the price of cars even if they made a lot of cars. So they have graveyards where cars just sit there. You understand? Even not only cars, but everything that's made here. Even malls in America. I think there's across America, they are graveyard malls just sitting built and nobody has used them. When someone I heard, that's when I was so surprised. Because when the concepts of malls came about in the 80s, America went crazy. They started building more malls in every state, in every area. They started building malls. Now they have mall graveyards, right? You can call like big buildings malls, but they haven't been used ever since they were even built. Or if they were used, they were used temporarily and then they were then left to just gather dust. You understand? That's what it does. Accumulation and overproduction. Enforcing the vibration of fear instead of trust. Okay? Enforcing the vibration of fear instead of trust. You got to trust in the universe. When you overproduce, you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's like hoarding, okay? You're thinking, I'm not safe. I must keep buckets and buckets and buckets or cupboards full of food because I'm afraid that there's going to be a tsunami, there's going to be a disaster, and I'm not going to have enough food. That tells you yourself, you're telling consciousness, you're vibrating in scarcity, you're vibrating in fear. You're not safe in this world. Because anything can happen. Remember that in this world, bad things do happen. But when you stop preparing yourself mentally for them and your consciousness is all about that, then you then actually make it happen because you are now telling the universe, this is what I believe. And the universe cannot deny you anything that you request with your signal. The universe cannot deny you anything you request with your signal. If your signal is about scarcity, lack, fear, the universe has to give you what you are matched to by bringing situations, circumstances, experiences, people that match your frequency. You understand? So you got to be aware about those things, okay? People say, yeah, you must save for a rainy day. You must be accumulating for a rainy day. Live in a what if space? It causes problems in your psychic because you're moving away from life is easy. I'm safe here. I'm always provided for no matter whatever happens. Even if there's a tsunami or whatever, even if the world ends now, right? Whatever it is. Because remember, and I'm saying your world ends now. I'm talking about a tower moment when there's turmoil in your life, you lose a job or something like that. Then your world actually literally ends in your mind because that's your tower moment. In the tower moment, talking about the tarot now. I also read tarot, right? So these are the things I'm talking about, right? Then spiritual consequences of hoarding and this capitalism is disconnection. You disconnect to your source and yourself. You disconnect because you are in the grind, you're in the hustle, in the competition to get more more cars, more money, more of everything, and you're competing with other people instead of you focusing on yourself and your own personal happiness and contentment. And you're so far away from gratitude. You're so far because you be successful in something now. You achieve it, and within a few minutes of achieving it, you're really thinking about the next thing you need to work towards, the next hustle, the next thing you can actually manifest into your reality. You're not enjoying and immersing. At least 3 months to 6 months, immerse yourself and appreciate what you have. And yeah, write a love letter to divine source and say, yes, this is what I got. Thank you so much. This is how I feel. It's making me feel like this, and I would love more of it. And maybe share what you have manifested with others that don't have the ability to manifest as clearly and as precise as you. Not every single person is in the same frequency, right? So we can help each other as well. Okay, so in that period of you immersing yourself in your gratitude, you're telling the universe that yes, I've got so much, plentiful. I'm ready for the next. I have so much I'm even willing to share with others. I'm ready for the next success. I'm ready for the next manifestation. How do we get there? Let's make a plan, universe, because you are now co-creating with the universe. You are co-creating in partnership with God, with the universe, right? Because you have the power. You are God, and then you are the in Christianity they tell you that you the son of God, you the daughter of God, you the whatever it is, right? But then you still co-creating with that God source. That's part of who you are. Okay, you're connecting to the God source. So you tell the God source, okay, now I'm ready to manifest the next thing. What next? What wonderful things can come into my life experience? Okay, that's when you're living in consciousness. Now you're living with a purpose. You open it to it right now. Exploitation of energy. Wow, this is a painful one. Exploitation of energy happens a lot. Okay, exploitation of people's skills, their energy, and yes, and even their money, exploiting people, like in the second world countries, so-called second world countries, Africa and third world countries, whatever, these capitalist system, they put us in blocks. The capitalist system says you are a country with money, you are a country with no money, you are a country with poverty, you are a third world country. There's no infrastructure there, there's no money, but you have resources. I want your resources. I want your resources, okay? But you are povertized. Give me your resources. I'll take your resources, and yeah, then you are povertized. You see what I mean? So it doesn't make sense. You're taking my resources, but you're telling me I'm povertized. You cannot do nothing without me, but you're telling me I'm povertized. By giving me or by giving my currency a very low value, you're dropping my currency because of the fact that you want to keep me down. Because if you allow me to grow, I'll be able to manage my resources more. You understand? That's how capitalism is really being used for the negative things, okay? Because it's supposed to be a flow, an easy flow. If only we were operating from love and not on oppression and slaving somebody else to enrich yourself. This is what capitalism has done to the superpowers. I'll mention in America, Europe, Canada, all these countries, the so-called Western, are feeding from the resources of the third world countries and second world countries, the resource of the people's abilities, your skills, and in also our resources in our ground, in our land. You understand? All our gold and all other platinum and all the other resources that take from Congo to actually allow us to even talk now on this internet, right? There's something that they're mining in Congo. It's a little, I don't know what it is, but they put it it's used for our cell phones. And those people in Congo are not getting any richer, although there's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of cell phones being created. And these corporations are getting that money. That's the imbalance, the shadow of capitalism. Because our hearts are not in the right place. It doesn't mean that capitalism is necessarily a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but people's intentions are making it seem like an ugly thing.